Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 3rd of June. Let's get cracking and look at where we are this morning. First things first then, let's just have a look at the news. Just bring the news service up. Actually, what I'm going to do is just bring this service up. Now, normally I just sort of look at the daily figures, or daily numbers, but today I'm just going to run through and the whole week just briefly. So today we've got final manufacturing data for the US. This doesn't normally move massively the markets here, but we'll see. But then we've got come Wednesday we've got the ADP data that'll come out in the morning. We've got the Bank of Canada rate statement, so interest rate statement there, so central bank meeting there, that will create some volatility. Final services, etc. Again, this final data doesn't normally move the markets too much at all. Then on Thursday we've got the ECB meeting. Friday we've got the non-farm payrolls. So lots to watch out, mainly back ending, but either way will set the tone for the week most likely. Let's have a look at the technicals then. We're starting off here with the euro dollar, and you look at it on a daily basis, it's quite into a I was looking at the Aussie a little while ago, etc., and I was thinking this is quite choppy. This is quite choppy and ugly as well. It's quite rangy over the dailies over the last week or two. You can see that, well, at least the last week or two, it's been chopping. This morning, it's just come short of its. Actually, it might have. No, it's come short of its weekly pivot. I'm just looking where the weekly pivot starts from here. So it's come short of the weekly pivot at the moment, but it is sitting on the dailies there, and I'm really looking for a continuation to the upside. It would have to be post 8 o'clock and probably about 8:30 onwards. I'll be looking at this as a potential move. I'm a bit wary of early moves on these markets. So really, that's what I'm looking for at the moment. A bit of a continuation. We did get a higher low coming in on Friday there, and it's cheered me up a little bit on that market. I'm a little bit more positive on it now, but we do have the rate cut potentially on Thursday, but that is well priced into the market. Everyone's expecting it to be cut by 1/4%. So it's really the news is already properly priced into this market at this stage. Right. Looking at the pound dollar, it's a little bit less choppy, but it has put a higher low in on the daily end of day data there. 4 hourly wise, sorry, 4 hourly. On the 4 hourly chart, it's put the end of the higher low on. Beg your pardon. Looking at the price action at the moment, it too is around its pivot at the moment. It could be an opportunity on the long side. It just got quite ugly on Friday in the end. It did pitch up there, but come the afternoon, later afternoon, it sold off quite strongly. But there is scope for further upside there for the pound. The dollar yen, I just really not liking this, and I'm going to steer clear of it personally. It's got the potential to continue. That 158 area just sort of is sitting above there, and whether we get a reaction to it again, it got close to it last week. Whether we get a reaction to it this week, if it runs up there, we'll wait and see. But there's just no point trying to second guess it. It's just that it's higher risk than normal because of where it is, so best leave. Aussie dollar, this is what I was talking about, a bit more choppy maybe. We saw the commodities currencies all sell off at one stage, and it's not really pitched up as well as the likes of the euro. It's about to put a lower high in on this maybe, but it's certainly not certainly not as attractive as the euro. Now, if the euro was to roll over this morning, etc., and we would then maybe looking across the markets a little bit more negatively even, and a break of these lows, well, maybe it's something more. But for now, it's just really quite choppy. Dollar CAD, I sort of like this morning in a sense, but again, we've got to be a bit careful because it's between a rock and a hard place. The hard place is the support that we're seeing off its pivotal area here. This previous highs and lows marked out here was pivotal level. It has the potential to run into its weekly pivot just above there that may just stall it, so it's got some resistance, but it's already running into some resistance. So support at the bottom, it's got resistance at the top basically. So if we see it turn round post 8 o'clock, there is the scope for it to maybe continue back towards those lows. I wouldn't be looking for it to go right down to the S1 today necessarily, but maybe back to the lows themselves. Wouldn't be a great risk reward position, but may have something in it. Dolly, sorry, New Zealand dolly, dollar. Again, quite a choppy one. This had held up better than the other markets last week. 4 hourly wise, well, chopping at the moment and quite ugly looking, slightly stronger than the Aussie there. Weird old gap down there, but we see that a lot of these sort of gaps on these some of these currencies come the opens, etc. Anyway, for now, looking well, if it were to turn around, it might. I'd really rather be in over the euro or the pound. To be fair, if I was looking alongside against the dollar at the moment. Other markets, the Swissy could switch back a little bit. It's got its pivots just running back into its pivot here. Is the beginnings of potentially a rollover on a dailies, but when I put my cursor there, you can see the previous lows. It has been finding support around that point, and once again we might get a bit more support coming in at that level. But well, if it does break, it might be a bit better. But we've got the weekly pivot above here, and this sort of supporting level could just see this pushing up at some stage. So not really fancying that too much. A lot of the cross pairs that likes the Euro CAD are really normally like the Euro CAD, and I looked at it this morning, and you sort of look at what happened last week. I was in it at one stage, came out, and then on Friday, wow, did it switch round there for a little while, then got all bullish again, and then sold off again. And it's in a choppy mode, and you look at it on the end of the day basis, and it's getting similar to what it did here. And I'm not really wanting to sit in there. It could take off, but I'd need a couple of solid days and something strong there. But as I said, we've got the Bank of Canada reporting come Wednesday. There's an expectation of a cut of a rate, which is priced in. Again, there's an expectation of a cut of the rate on Thursday with the euro. Both priced into these markets, so it's probably not going to have a great effect on this, and it could just lead us into more choppiness over the coming week. Right, I shall leave it there for those markets. Let's just have a quick look at the gold, etc. So gold just looking at a little bit softer now. It's broken through the lows there, giving us a lower high, just coming off a little bit more. Just okay, it's bouncing off it. So I was just looking at its quarterly R1 at the moment. It has got itself into a bit more of a tangled mess. Yeah, the quarterly R1 just holding it a little bit for now. And we have got the untouched daily pivot, so maybe after post 8 o'clock, if it can start driving up there, it's got a bit of a near-term target. Not a great fan of it at this stage. Oil, well, oil's sitting there once again into its yearly pivot. It's not really doing a great deal here. It looked at one stage at the early part last week that right, we're going back up towards its monthly pivot. Now we've got an untouched monthly pivot above, and any early draw could bring it into that, and through it most likely. But it's hanging around the lows at the moment. Are we going to see a break of the lows of that yearly pivot is the question. Lower highs mostly coming in through the current price action. We are into that summer season. Less demand from many countries. Well, used to get the driving season, the US driving season, used to really affect oil prices a lot more, but as the US has become a major producer, it affects it a lot less. Anyway, potential rollback over there. S&Ps, come on S&Ps. That's not the S&Ps, that's oil. Come on, this flicks itself back again on me. There we go, S&Ps. So Friday saw a bullish old day there, bullish engulfing, continuation type bar, I guess, in terms of what it did there, largely in later shift. Hanging up there at the moment and holding up firmly. It's been held by the Nifty 50. The elections in India were positive from a market's perspective, and Nifty 50 will be up, I'm sure. But we're certainly seeing the S&P's holding up at the moment. Let's just come up the time frames again. Look at the Nasdaq end of day, same basis. These look like they could give a continuation this morning. It gets to these points where each time they look a little bit softer and potential intraday sells, and then all of a sudden towards the end of a shift, we see a big surge as we did there. Just didn't break down on Friday. Anyway, for now they're hanging in there. Positivity. DAX certainly looking a bit more positive this morning, and again higher lows on the 4 hourlies here. We're already up to its R2. It's done quite a movement since the open on the futures here. So already up to its R2 there on this source of feed, and the FTSE also, well, up to its R2, pushed up there on the dailies there, already gone positively at this stage. Okay, that's pretty much it for me at the moment on here, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wish you a great day's trading. I'm going to look through the rest of the Forex pairs again post 8 o'clock in the trading room. I'll leave it there for you in the YouTube room. Have a good day's trading. Busy week ahead anyway. Take care. Bye for now.